Okay, guys, the first essay I'm going to take up is right a very very rare essay which comes once in 2 or 3 years, but it is a very simple essay. Still, people get trapped in this. Correct. So we'll start by discussing this today, right? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Hmm. Yeah, Kamini, read the essay I've just marked out on the WhatsApp.
Okay, sir. Um, in some countries, young people are increasingly losing interest in teaching.
Oh, the one which I've just marked.
Okay, okay, sir. Some people believe that nowadays we have too many choices. To what extent do you agree or disagree?
Look at this topic. No, it is a very open topic. What I'm saying, right? To what extent do you agree or disagree? It can also be discussed. Can also be do you agree or disagree? Now the thing here is now when you're looking for an essay like this, you have a very wide perspective to answer. A very, very wide perspective. Correct? Because of a simple thing. Right? Too many choices means they're not singled you out on one area, health or education or profession or right, riches or luxuries or facilities. They're giving you a very, very wide perspective. So this kind of an essay can prove to be really, really enriching because you can write a lot of things about this. बहुत कुछ लिखा जा सकता है. Correct? Okay.
Yes, sir.
But what do you mean by having too many choices? What do you mean by too many choices? Too many choices means, for example, if I take education, of course, people have got a variety of education options. They can choose any kind of pursuit according to their interest. Formerly, this was not available. They had limited number of courses at the university or the college. But today, you can go for IT. In IT, there are so many domains. In retail, there are so many domains, right? And in every sector, there are so many domains which you can pursue as per your interest. Not only this, one can also pursue education as per their financial credentials. You have got premium universities, you got middle level colleges and institutions, and then you got certain institutions which are providing you certification at bottom price, bottom line prices, right? Rock bottom prices. So people from every income strata can access information, education as per their choice, as per their interest. Second thing is, when you talk of, for example, you talk of healthcare. Healthcare is also again available in huge variety, right? Correct? You can access there as per your financial background, socioeconomic background, right? Then you can even talk about, right, areas like consumables, cars, mobile phones, home appliances, even homes, right? That can be as per your liking and disliking, as per your choice, as per your taste, and as per your financial credentials, as per your monetary resources. So you do have a wide choice on everything, correct? But if you're given one essay that talks about right, that talks about uh, discuss that. No, the others say that there are not many choices today. What will you do in that case? Correct. So what will you do in that case? So we have to prepare ourselves accordingly. Correct. We have to prepare ourselves accordingly. And in that case, I can say that it is true that choices are available. But if you look at this closely, this is extremely limited and confined to the elite section who have got enough money to pay for those. Getting my point, everybody?
Yes, sir.
Logged in है? Logged in है? ठीक क्या है? ऐसा सुनना तो मुझे भी है. Yes, Sajjad. You had a question?
No, sir.
You raise your hands, no?
आपने बोला था गॉड इट एवरीवन, तो इसीलिए.
So we talk of this. So you should develop a perspective on both the sides in case you get to discuss. I can really say that everything has become possible today. Even the food, the choices of the food as per the budgets, the choices of travel as per the budgets. You can overwhelmingly completely agree with this. You don't need to go on the other side. But थोड़ा prepare करना कि ऐसा ना हो कि वहाँ पे there's a discuss both views. Now some people say there are a lot of choices, others disagree, discuss both views and give your opinion. To what extent do you agree or disagree? I can say that, oh yes, there are a lot of choices.
सर ये दोनों एग्री डिसएग्री मनी के बेसिस पे ही होने वाला है.
Absolutely. But I can say that, no? Why there are choices. I'm not taking that perspective in money. I've said socio-economic background. Even the food items available today are accordingly, and right? Correct? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
They can even travel and have vacationing. Yeah. Correct. The ones who are elites can go to overseas locations or exotic locations. The ones who are not having enough money, they can travel to nearby areas, but experience the excitement of traveling and getting experiencing an escape from the mundane, a healthy distraction from their daily humdrum. Boring routine. But on the other hand, there is a perspective that says no, they don't have too many choices, specifically those who are deprived. They are not the ones who enjoy this privilege of choosing as per their liking and disliking, because they are destitute. They don't have enough money to support them. Right? And then there are people who are following celebrities. They cannot envisage or envision anything else, right? Except what their celebrity, their idols follow. They will only go for something that is bought by their public idols. Right? And then there are conservative. Right? There's a conservative society that limits us and confines its choices to certain things, certain food, certain dressing styles, certain consumer goods. Right? So there are both perspectives. You have to develop that idea. Getting my point, guys?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let us talk about it. So we can say that, right? Yeah. Go on, read this, Damini.
Yes, sir. Some people believe that nowadays we have too many choices. To what extent do you agree or disagree? To what extent do you agree or disagree that some people believe that nowadays we have too many choices? Are people today having desperate choices? Yes or no? Everyone is, yes. Everyone is born with a difference in attitudes, aspirations, and can satisfy them as per their circumstances. Pe- People choose things are per their budget and taste. Global perspective available of goods from different parts of the world. advent of innovative technology, traveling, and vacations. The deprived do not enjoy such privileges. Most are following each other and especially celebrities in terms of fashion and consumer goods. Some goods are widely available as a result, while others are not. Those who are conservative and are dependent on the local and ethnic produce do not find too many choices.
But ये वाला perspective only put when you have got discuss essay. Right? When they say discuss both the sides of coin, discuss both the views, and then this. But if you are getting humongous choices, no umpteen choices. So what is happening in that case? You do not need to say anything. Right? Simply go on one side. That will be not suitable. You can completely agree with this statement. Got my point? But this is one of the rarest essays which appears and reappears. It goes elusive and then comes back. Right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, the next one. ये भी एक टॉपिक है जो लास्ट आया था. हेलो. This topic appeared in 2022. It has been 2 years. I think if the time is right, it might appear again. मम्मा से बात करती हूँ. मम्मा चाची से बात करती हूँ. हेलो. अरे 3 कप चाय बनाओ तो चाची जाके चाची को होने दे, तेरे को देना होगा. Okay. So this one is the essay which appeared in. So this is one essay which appeared in 2022. Before that, it was in academic 2020-21, I think. This is one of the essay which has not appeared many times. So I'm not sure when it might reappear again. But it could land upon your lap the moment you sit at the table. Even though I'm not predicting anything, you should be prepared for any kind of these kind of essays where you actually seem to have less choices to write. All of a sudden, you cannot build up an idea. And when you cannot build up an idea, you tend to lose your perspective. Right? So this talks about, means if you're given a choice, right? Do you agree or disagree with what? No, that if you're given a choice to choose between to work and not to work, most will say, I don't want to work. Yes. Do you agree? No. You don't agree. Correct? सामने आ रहे हैं. ठीक है? Got the point? Right? कभी आप पढ़ उसको. Read that.
Some say that if anyone would be given a choice between not working and working most of the time, they would choose not to work.
Got the point? So would everybody choose not to work? Some people say that yes, it is true. It is true that no, people would choose not to work because why? Because no, most of the people do not want to tie themselves to a monotonous work routine. Getting up in the morning, going to the office, coming back, hitting the sack, which is quite boring, right? Quite unexciting, uninspiring, right? And not the real essence of life, what they want to do. Correct? And second is, means working makes them feel stressed, exposing them to various physical and mental afflictions, causing them fall sick. So they would say that, right? Am I right, guys?
Yes, sir.
People even say that working makes them stay away from their loved ones. Another factor that is quite right. Okay, right? Quite a thing. This is what happens. So they say that by not working, they'll be able to spend some time with their loved ones because memories are built by not working, by being with your loved ones. And plus, many are happy to survive and subsist on the minimal state level support they are provided. Although this is not the case now anymore. But in the US, this was the time, right? Okay. But I rather disagree. अच्छा इसका लिखने का pattern, what is the pattern of writing this kind of an essay? First write about why those people are proposing. पहले ले लो agree जो वो statement दे रहा है, the statement they're giving, go for that first and then come to the ground reality. It is rather a very the superfluous statement which is not having any substance, doesn't hold ground at all, because people have to work, and even despite not liking it, they would definitely choose to work because working can only bring financial affluence. Many have families to support, and simply staying back and not working is not going to solve their problems. Right? They have to be prepared for for any kind of emergencies. Correct? But then some are not just working for, right? Okay. Some are not only working for financial aspects. For them, achieving something in life is more important than anything. The professional goals, the personal goals, and plus they also know that having a professional life will expand their horizons and also their social circle. When you have a social circle, how do you develop a social circle? In fact, after school or college, it is generally your professional friends who make up a social circle later. Right? After a while, if you are not working, what will happen? People will meet you once or twice. Third time they will say, okay, तो वेला आदमी है. He's got lots of time to splurge, right? To really squander, waste, right? And you will also realize that sitting idle would definitely hamper their reputation in the society. They don't want to be labeled as, right, inactive and sedate, indolent person who does not want to work. Correct? Okay, and quite contrary to what people might say, the people who are idle, even if they are on state support, it is always said, idle mind is devil's workshop. When you're not working, you're trying to use your time, you'll definitely either go into depression or you will definitely take up criminal activities. Because you have to use your time. Getting my point, guys?
Yes.
Okay. Please read this. Yeah, Gavani.
Some want a lifestyle that is free of any monotonous routine and compulsions of employment and work. Many are also in favor of staying away from mental and physical affections that working can bring to them. They wish to spend more time with their loved ones. They are happy living on minimal state support. Disagree. Why? Working can lead to financial affluence, and many have families to support. Prepare for emergencies. Some want to have a professional life and acquaintances. Many know that sitting idle would not hamper their reputation in society. those working, those without work but with enough to support suffer from mental afflictions. They can go astray.
Huh? Minimal stress support means they're getting unemployment pension. Pension. Right? So this is one of the biggest factors, right? और ये ऐसे जो है, this is a complete agree or disagree. No, this is an agree or disagree. You cannot go on both sides. I'd rather say, if there is some perspective of not working, that is only available to the people living in the affluent countries. But majority of the people want to work, and because they want to improve their lifestyle and they want to improve their social circles and chase the professional satisfaction, which is only possible by working. It leads to mental upheaval, right? Of staying idle does not promote good health. It promotes, right, mental ailments. Correct? Okay.
Health disorder also.
Yes. Purusha, take the second one which I have taken.
Which one, sir?
Just marked.
कौन सा sir? Disagree why?
अरे देखना WhatsApp पे.
अच्छा, sorry.
Sir, कैसे बात है?
In some countries,
हाँ.
in some countries, young people are increasingly losing interest in teaching. Why is this happening? What can be done to improve the situation? Give reasons for your answer and include examples for your own experience. Okay, ऐसे लिखना है ना इसमें.
So what does it suggest here, no?
लूजिंग इंटरेस्ट इन टीचिंग में तो सर वही होगा ना कि ज्यादा ऑनलाइन एक्टिविटीज बढ़ती जा रही हैं.
I just want to hear what you want to say.
Should I? They do not have sufficient money.
सर ऑनलाइन पढ़ाना तो ऑनलाइन भी पढ़ता है, ऑनलाइन में ऑफलाइन.
They do not have enough sufficient.
Have you understood the question?
Yes, of course.
You asking me?
अब तूने पढ़ा, तू बता रही, कुछ बता रही, tell me.
अच्छा.
Please.
ये कह रहा है कि कुछ कंट्रीज में यंग पीपल जो हैं उनको पढ़ाने में इंटरेस्ट क्यों खत्म होता जा रहा है और इसको इम्प्रूव करने के लिए क्या किया जा सकता है. To improve the situation, trainings can be provided and नहीं क्या कहते हैं उनको, workshops. Workshops can be provided to the teacher and various other ideas and techniques so that they can get more interest to teach the children or young minds more efficiently. Also, ये जो online classes चल गई है, इसको थोड़ा मिनिमाइज करके इन पर्सन पढ़ाना ज्यादा प्रेफर करना चाहिए, बिकॉज उससे ज्यादा टीचर को भी समझ में आता है कि वेदर द स्टूडेंट इज एबल टू अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट ही और शी इज टेलिंग देम, और क्रॉस क्वेश्चनिंग होती है व्हिच मेक्स द सेशन मोर इंटरैक्टिव.
Thank you so much. But what is the main question asking you?
सिचुएशन कंट्रोल इम्प्रूव करने के लिए रीजन वो बताएं.
Why youngsters are leaving the teaching profession? Ask yourself first.
Why is this, what can be done to improve the situation? ये ना
पहला तो हो गया what can be done, but why people are leaving this profession?
leaving this profession.
और पूछा ही नहीं, तूने बताया.
एक सेकेंड, आपने बोला है young people are losing interest in teaching.
पूरा पढ़ना है, क्वेश्चन पढ़ना है.
In some countries, young people are increasingly losing interest in teaching. तो एक तो हो गया कि क्यों इंटरेस्ट लूज कर रहे हैं, तो उसी में इंक्लूड हो गया ना सर.
तो इसमें इंक्लूड हो गया
जो अभी मैंने बोला है.
उसमें didn't give anything. See, the problem is
हम फिर वो भी गाइड कर सकते हैं because of the new rules that every schools are implementing these days, that every teacher while teaching have to stand for the entire session and they cannot sit.
That was the first thing. Okay, that is the first thing. Okay, that is that people are not attracted towards it. Okay, what are the things? See, thing is, find a perspective first. Develop a perspective before writing anything. Problem क्या है इसमें?
सर
Yeah.
इसमें भी झूठ लिख सकते हैं ना, झूठा झूठा?
नहीं. वैश पकड़ा जाएगा.
सर इसमें झूठा नहीं लिख सकते हैं?
नहीं, वैश पकड़ा जाएगा. तेरा जो ऐसे है वो ऑक्सफोर्ड यूनिवर्सिटी, हार्वर्ड और वो ग्रिफिथ सब जगह भेज के पहले चेक कराएंगे सच है कि नहीं है. यार क्या है, क्या हो गया तेरे को? It's been over a month, my boy. अभी तक नहीं समझा पाया तेरे को.
सर वर्क लिमिट बढ़ जाती है, बढ़ाते जा रहे हैं स्कूल में टीचर्स के लिए, और they are not paying that much in return to the teachers. That is the big point.
सर लेकिन आपने बोला था कि नीचे से ऊपर चलो, तो पहले तो वो वाला तो सही बोल दिया ना कि why is this happening, but
नीचे से चढ़ने का मतलब होता है when you're climbing the stairs, you actually identify the questions first. तो यहाँ पे क्या है कि why it is happening? So what can be done to improve कौन सी situation? और it क्या है? कि young people are leaving this profession, right? Get this point very clearly.
Okay, young people are losing interest in it because of experiment thing, they are not finding.
Absolutely, there are 4 factors involved in this one. The role of a tutor has become a honoris causa. Because syllabus expand हो रहा है, right? Which is raising the stress levels, right? And they are being given the tasks that are not the part of their occupations, preparing the reports and this and that, and also doing some admin jobs, talking to the parents, or handling the counseling services. Because what is happening? This is the most thankless profession. If a student gets a good mark, great, they won't congratulate you for that. But if something wrong happens, they'll come back complaining about it. Plus, your hands are tied now. You cannot reprimand and retribute the disobedient and disruptive students. You're bound by the teaching practices and laws. Right? And plus, what is happening? It is quite monotonous a job. Going to the school, sitting in the same room, coming back. There's no excitement, no experience. And what else? See that the progress in this profession is highly, right? Correct? Highly arrested. It doesn't go beyond certain levels. Teacher, assistant teacher, TGT, PGT. And then you can go into college at the most. What about later? But what about other occupations where you can reach the pinnacle of being a vice president or a director? And plus the compensation package is another factor, right? Financial aspect is a major factor. You don't get that much money. Correct?
Right.
So these things are definitely taking people away from this. So they are getting disenchanted from this profession. But what are the ways out? So if you look at this closely, what are the ways out? Obviously, the class sizes should be confined to a certain limit. Should not go beyond, say, 25 students per class. And they should be given refresher courses to upgrade their skills about teaching practices. Plus, integration of technology in the classes should be done so that they don't have to carry their work home for checking and rechecking. The technology should be actively involved so that assessment can be done there and then itself. They don't have to carry the loads of work back home, which is actually quite stressful. Right? And there should be some room given, some latitude given to teachers to deal effectively with the disobedient students. Right? Organizing field trips, exhibitions, can take them out of the monotonous environment of the classroom and let them, experience the excitement of their professionals. And they should be provided assistance to carry out the miscellaneous jobs associated with this, linked to this profession. And what about financial? There should be parity. Miscellaneous jobs, बहुत सारे होते हैं teaching के अंदर. Got the point? And parity between compensation and of teaching professional and other industries should be established. And increments, bonuses, and other benefits which people are getting, for example, health, free trips, club memberships, they should be given similar privileges. Why not? Getting my point?
Yes, sir.
Please read them once. Read this.
So कौन?
Rusa Parde. She's there. She's gone.
जी सर मैं हूँ Donning reason logically explain the cause of such propensity. Donning the role of tutors has become an onerous task since the syllabus has incremented dramatically, causing a phenomenal rise in stress level. They are also being given other tasks that are not a part of their occupation. They never get a claim for their performance, but a irritant criticized if their class fails to perform up to the mark. They must deal with disruptive student where they cannot reprimand them. This is a monotonous task since it keeps teaching professionals engaged in the same kind of work day in day out, something the upcoming generation does not have affinity for. There is a limited career progression. One can only become the head of department, while in other profession one can reach coveted position of vice president, CEOs, and also directors. Financial aspects, salary increment, and incentives are a rare occurrence in this trade.
Go on.
Solution: occupational. The class size should be confined to a certain limit to keep the things manageable and less stressful. Refresher courses should be organized and train tutors about new methods and curriculum. Integration of technology and other resources to ease the burden of preparing and imparting lessons and also assessing the performance. Some freedom should be afforded to help with the disobedient students. Some freedom, taking class out of the classroom regularly and organizing field trips should have ancillary staff to help cover and share extra workload. Financial parity between compensation of teaching specialists and other industries should be established. Regular increment and bonus. Performance based on incentives. Non
Right?
non-monetary health and educational support for those engaged in teaching and their families. Free yearly trips allowing purchase of clothes that are worn to school and the school's expenses.
Got it?
Yes, sir.
So this is how you go, right? Read the question effectively and बहुत कुछ मिलेगा रे. So those so many things to talk about here.
Yes, sir.
But this is a very simple story, right? Simran, read the third topic. Read the
where
third
their
topic.
head office is situated. हाँ जी,
They may do with nowadays.
which one, sir? Hmm.
खाने से मेटाबॉलिज्म चलता है. हाँ भाई. Yes, Simran.
Yes, sir.
Hmm.
Pardon?
Yeah.
Nowadays, organizations are setting up factories in countries that are different from where their head office is situated. Are the advantages more than the disadvantages?
Now, this is one kind of question. There's one kind of question which actually tells you know that you have discussed both advantages and disadvantages. Only then you'll be able to find out what is more. What are the advantages of organizations setting up factories in other areas? It is quite closely linked to what? No, globalization, right? Very बड़ा सवाल है. ठीक है? When factories are set in other areas, obviously, why they're doing this? Because companies are able to reap rich benefits. Rich economies and countries are able to reap rich benefits. Right? Okay. Reap rich benefits in the form of what? No? Correct? In the form of cheap labor, in the form of cheap resources, right? That enhances their right profitability. On the other side of the coin, right? Yeah. The host nations, the destination nations, right? They're also witnessing an economic upheaval. Their skilled labor is getting jobs, and because of this, their infrastructure and economies are improving. Correct? Plus, it is also creating a global society, a cultural interaction due to this. The best, it is said, the best way to improve, involve yourself culturally is do economic activities. And you will develop cohesion. But this is also in a way mitigating the transportation pollution. In the past, the raw material would come to America. In Detroit, the cars would be manufactured, and from there, again, the cars would be sent to the market. But now the cars are being directly manufactured where the raw material is, for example, in China and India, and they're being shipped directly to the markets. Right? Correct? The one arm of transportation has reduced. But of course, there are demerits also. This is causing unemployment in the rich nations. Correct? Correct? Okay? And plus, what else? Means this is simply shifting industrial pollution from one area to poor areas, which do not have adequate infrastructure to handle such right? Pollution. Let us read this once. Yes, Imran.
Nowadays, organizations are setting up factories in countries that are different from where their head office is situated. Are the advantages more than the disadvantages? Merits. Rich countries and multinational companies are able to source cheaper labor, material, and infrastructure. The host countries are witnessing an increment in the economic activities. More skilled labor is being created, infrastructure improved, creating a global society, cultural interaction, mitigating expenses and pollution caused by multiple transportation means, demerits, causing joblessness in the nations from where the manufacturing is shifting out, shifting industrial pollution to the locations, especially poor, that have poor infrastructure to cope with pollution where factories are being shifted.
Correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Right. So this is what it is. Understanding the perspective. Okay. अगर देखा है तो ग्लोबलाइजेशन से कनेक्टेड है.
कैसे?
Setting up office factories in other areas is what it is doing. No.
They were also related that other place.
Right. Okay. Negative, right? Plus, it is also creating unemployment in the areas where there used to be factories. You go to Detroit today, you will not find any factory there. Detroit used to be a car hub in some, in the 80s. Right? Most of the companies had their units there. Starting from Toyota to their homegrown GMC and right MAN and even Ford. But what is there? Where it is now? Everything is in China. Correct? BMW, Mercedes, they had their main units in Hamburg, where they are now. But they have become clean. But people with at those level of jobs have lost their jobs. They're jobless. Got the point? Yes. Okay. The last essay for today. Sajjad, are you there? Asim,
Yes, sir.
can you read this last essay?
कौन सर?
TV channels broadcast.
Today TV channels broadcast men also more than women. Why is this case? Should TV channels give equal time for each?
Yeah. So what is it saying?
सर ये बोल रहे हैं कि जो है टीवी चैनल जो है मेंस स्पोर्ट ज्यादा दिखाते हैं कंपेयर टू वोमेन्स. ऐसा क्यों है? और टीवी चैनल की क्या टीवी चैनल को इक्वल टाइम देना चाहिए दोनों स्पोर्ट्स के लिए?
Got the point? So this is what it is. So we are talking about why there is so much difference in the right show time being given to men and the women's sports. So यहाँ पे दो चीजें होगी मगर दूसरे में सजेशन मांगा नहीं गया है. दूसरा ध्यान से सुनना ये बता. Again a very different essay altogether. Because यहाँ जो मांग रहा है वो ये मांग रहा है कि क्या उनको देना चाहिए कि नहीं देना चाहिए. If you say yes, then why? If you say don't, then why? But क्यों नहीं दे रहे हो तो हम पहले ही लिख चुके हैं हम लोग. Right? We have already written that. So we do not need to really, right, burn the midnight oil in finding that. Correct? Okay. But otherwise, why they should be given opportunities is one thing that should be considered here. All right. So what will you suggest here? कौन बोलेगा इस बारे में? It's a very simple equation. It's a commercial relationships. Television channels will present only those sports which are followed by the masses. And it is natural that the men's sports has got a lot of money, lot of fan following. Correct? And even the women are not quite akin to following male sports stars. But how many are following women sports stars? They are rarely any cases. Except a few amateur, right? Or except a few sports like tennis. It is not easy to come across people who actually follow the female sports stars. So that is why the show time allocated to the men's sports is far higher than the women, right? And then obviously there's a conservative attitude. Many do not like watching women's sports. And plus the number of men in sports is easily exceeds women by millions. Got the point? And but why should women be given more time? So that it can also encourage women to actively participate in sports. It will lead to their upheaval and upliftment. Correct? Okay. And this could help create employment in the women's section also. Why only men? If you will give more time and popularize the sports of women or females, more and more females will come into these kind of sports. And this will create employment for them. So that is why the television should take the onus of this. And it will also help overcome the orthodox attitudes of society. Right? Takyanushi, पुराने विचार, पुराने. ठीक है? Yes. Sajad, can you read this?
Which one, sir?
ये जो highlight हो रहा देख.
Why women's sports gets lesser time on television? There is commercial consideration. Men's sports has bigger fan following in comparison to women. Viewership rating men's sports has women followers too. But women sports has mostly women followers only. More men are into sports than their women counterparts. There is a huge money involved in men's sports in comparison to women, and that is why television conservative attitude of societies force television companies to avoid women's sports. Women should also get more time. Women need all the encouragement to engage in this activity. Their upliftment sports is emerging as a burgeoning industry that can render employment to millions. This will help societies abandon their orthodox attitudes. Burgeoning क्या मतलब क्या है सर?
Burgeoning means blooming.
Grooming.
Blooming. Developing.
Blooming.
Flourishing.
Developing.
Yeah.
Developing. Okay. Burgeoning.
Got the point?
Got it.
Correct? So that's
Yes.
all, guys, for today. I always
Okay.
suggest, right, read the question and then finalize the answer. Kamini, specifically for you, I'm telling you this. Perspective develop करने के लिए always start from the bottom up. Only then you will get the right question.
Yes, sir.
Spend two minutes on brainstorming. Got the point? Spend 2 minutes on brainstorming.
यही तो
ठीक
नहीं
है सर.
पता है सर.
होएगा होएगा होएगा, we'll definitely do it. ठीक है? Okay. So I'll be putting this recording on the YouTube.